This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. In this video brought to you by the luxury world, we will serve as your map, guiding you through the Rolex landscape and helping you unearth the timepiece that speaks to your individuality. We will delve into the history, design, and functionality of the most coveted models and uncover how they might seamlessly integrate into your life. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we encourage you to do so to stay informed about our upcoming videos. What are the timepieces to consider as your first Rolex? Based on the watch community, Submariner stands out as the ultimate choice for a first Rolex. It offers unparalleled versatility and reliability, making it an ideal companion for any occasion. Whether you are heading to a formal dinner, engaging in sports activities, or tackling everyday tasks, the Submariner effortlessly meets the mark. Its timeless design and robust build ensure that you will never feel underdressed or disappointed with your choice. While other models like the Datejust 41 with its fluted bezel and Jubilee bracelet hold their charm, they may not serve as the ideal everyday watch for everyone, especially considering current market trends. Therefore, when it comes to selecting your inaugural Rolex, opting for the Submariner in steel is a decision you are unlikely to regret. What Rolex should you add to your collection? We suggest you consider something different, a dress watch, unless you are specifically looking to expand your sports professional category. In that case, a GMT model could be an excellent choice, as they are highly sought after. Considering your preference for steel models, options like the Batman, Batgirl, Pepsi, or even the new Sprite, with either an Oyster or Jubilee bracelet, could complement your collection nicely. Since you also appreciate pre-ceramic models, you might explore discontinued options like the no-date Submariner or the 40mm references like the 14060 if you are aiming for a more vintage feel. The decision depends on whether you are looking to diversify your collection or enhance your sports professional segment. Comparing the Datejust 41 with the Datejust 36. The Datejust 36 is less frequently discussed because it is not as sought after in the market. It is considered a unisex size and can be worn comfortably by both men and women. It has evolved into a watch that appeals to both genders, with men sporting smaller wrists opting for it as well. Depending on the dial color, it can be perceived as either a men's or a ladies' watch, with lighter dials often favored by women and darker dials by men. Despite being slightly overshadowed by the popularity of the Datejust 41, the Datejust 36 remains a solid choice and is priced competitively in the market. It continues to enjoy significant popularity among watch enthusiasts. Rolex Submariner or Rolex Seadweller. Choosing between a Rolex Submariner and a Rolex Seadweller 43 can be a tough decision, especially if it is your first Rolex. If you prefer larger watches, the Seadweller 43 might be more suitable for you due to its size. However, if you are looking for something slightly smaller but still substantial, the 41mm Submariner could be a great option. It depends on your personal preferences and what feels right for you. Rolex GMT Coke. Why doesn't the Coke GMT receive more attention, and can we anticipate a new release of the Coke GMT in 2024 or 2025? The older, pre-ceramic Coke GMT models are scarce in the market, and while they are personally admired, their demand is subdued. As for a potential new release, many express their desire to see one in previous discussions, particularly during predictions for this year's releases at Watches and Wonders. However, until Rolex resolves manufacturing challenges related to red, the prospect of a new Coke GMT remains uncertain. There have been rumors circulating about the possible discontinuation of the current Pepsi model due to these issues. We believe a new Coke GMT could be highly sought after and might even surpass the popularity of the Pepsi variant. Rolex GMT GRNR or CHNR. Let us explain the difference between the two-tone GMT Master 2 GRNR and the CHNR. The GRNR refers to the steel and yellow gold model, which features an 18-karat yellow gold stainless steel Jubilee bracelet. This version offers a classic and nostalgic vibe with its two-tone bezel, making it a highly regarded option in the market. It has been quite stable in terms of pricing, with some slight increases recently. On the other hand, the CHNR, commonly known as the root beer, is the rose gold version with an oyster bracelet. The choice between these two models comes down to personal preference and the aesthetic you prefer. Does the new Daytona affect the price of the old Daytona? They might experience a slight decrease initially, but we're specifically referring to the Day-Date range, which remains one of the most coveted models from Rolex. For sure many of you are already aware of this, which is why a considerable number of enthusiasts turn to the gray market when seeking a Day-Date, as they are notoriously challenging to obtain directly from Rolex unless you are willing to spend substantially. When new models are released, they often enter the market with inflated prices, which eventually stabilize over time. We believe this may have a minor impact in the short term, but it will not significantly affect the overall desirability or availability of these models in the long run. Rolex Paul Newman as a good investment. In comparison to the original Paul Newman, which boasts the iconic red chronograph hand, many enthusiasts consider it to have a bit more character. While the newer version may appear more refined, the original Paul Newman holds a special place for many collectors. While we believe it has good long-term potential, we hesitate to label it as an investment. In today's market, it is essential to buy and wear what you genuinely enjoy. If the value fluctuates slightly over time, it should not detract from your enjoyment of the watch. Does Rolex is becoming overly daring or adventurous? Is Rolex becoming more adventurous with unconventional dial designs such as bezels and the bubbles? It seems like many watch brands are pushing boundaries and striving for uniqueness, similar to collaborations like the one with Travis Scott and Audemars Piguet. Rolex has typically maintained a more conservative approach compared to some other brands like AP. Innovation and variety can be refreshing, and if Rolex were to remain stagnant, critics might deem it dull or unprogressive. While not every combination may resonate with everyone, acquiring something distinctive and potentially valuable over time does hold its allure. The one big Rolex or three Rolex watches. For instance, whether it is your Pikachu or a Datejust or three watches, such as two Submariners and one GMT, the decision can be challenging. It depends on where you currently stand in your watch journey. If you are just starting, we suggest having more than one watch because beginners tend to crave variety and novelty, frequently seeking change. Therefore, having a selection of three watches could be more satisfying. However, if you are already well immersed in the world of watch collecting, having acquired several pieces over time, we recommend focusing on acquiring one significant watch. This could signify a step up in both quality and price, providing a sense of fulfillment and progression in your collection. It is all about scratching that itch and aiming for a higher level of horological excellence. Will the crypto market affect the watch market? With the cryptocurrency market on the rise, do you believe it will have a positive impact on watch prices in 2024? There is a belief that the watch market should not rely heavily on cryptocurrency. The cryptocurrency market operates in a distinct realm that does not necessarily align closely with some watch business operations. While it is possible that in the future, cryptocurrency may exert more influence on our industry, we perceive the recent fluctuations in the market as superficial. While cryptocurrency may have contributed to the recent surge in the watch market, it is also worth noting that it played a role in its subsequent decline. However, this impact remains minor in the grand scheme of things. In the end, the ideal Rolex for you is the one that captures your heart the most. Take the time to explore, test various models, and select a timepiece that will bring you joy and admiration for years ahead. What are your thoughts on the topic we shared in this video? We would like to see your answers and opinions in the comments section. Remember to follow us too and give us a thumbs up. Once again, this is the Luxury World, and we look forward to seeing you again in our future videos.